Om Namah Shivaya. Shivji Sada Sahai. Om Namah Shivaya. Guruji Sada Sahai. With his hands, the universal Guru washes us clean. Satsang of Mrs. and Mr. Satish Kumar Lamba, a retired IAS officer based in Noida. Sri Guruji Maharaj is the incarnation of God, the Almighty. Like Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, he has taken birth in the form of an ordinary human being on this earth to relieve people of their suffering. He grants your heart's desires. Thousands have been benefited from his grace without spending even a rupee. Where doctors make you spend lakhs and pandits and tantrics make you shed thousands without any sure results or success, for Guruji Maharaj's blessings, all that you need is faith, devotion and surrender. So have his darshan and receive his blessings. Without Guruji's blessings, one cannot find God. Guruji has transformed our lives. My entire family now prays to Guruji Maharaj for his blessings in all matters. With the blessings of Guruji Maharaj, our problems, which were of a very serious nature, went away like bad dreams. We always feel the presence of Guruji Maharaj near us. He is always there to help us out. We first came to seek Guruji's blessings in 1995 in GK1 in New Delhi through one of our friends. After receiving his blessings that year, we were unable to visit him again due to the exigencies of service and the fact that I was posted out. That was a blunder on our part which we did not realize at that time. After a few years, we faced serious problem and hardship. In the year 2003, one of our daughters was lured away from home by a few people of doubtful character. Her whereabouts were not known to us for a few months. When we traced her, we could not convince her to leave them. We went to many pandits and tantrics, performed various pujas and visited many temples, but to no avail. Later, we again heard of Guruji in the early part of year 2005 through a neighbor. We immediately remembered the help he had given us in the past and without loss of any time came to his feet. Guruji himself had called us. That's what we feel now. He assured us that our daughter would leave those people and come back for good. We got his blessings and sure enough our daughter returned and is now with us and devoted to Guruji as well. And we had to do nothing to get her back but seek Guruji's refuge. We had wasted so much time and money at other places, but at Guruji's, we did not have to dish out anything. Guruji Maharaj is very kind and he knows the problems of all his devotees. My wife was suffering from serious tailbone pain and piles with blood for the last 12 years. The pain was so acute that she would not sit upright on hard surfaces for more than 10 minutes. She was taking heavy medicines on a regular basis and the doctor advised an immediate operation. We were almost ready to act on the doctor's advice. Then we went to Guruji's and my wife was worried she would not be able to sit there for more than 10 minutes at the most. But our Guruji took care of this. Within a few days, my wife was cured and she forgot about her ailments and her pain. She has not felt any tailbone pain or piles related problems. Moreover, she did not even bring these health problems to Guruji's notice. But our Guruji was aware of it. Just by having his prasad and langar and of course his blessings, she was relieved of these ailments. A paralyzed friend plays golf. One of my friends who now lives about a furlong away from our house also benefited from Guruji's blessings. Ajit Singh, now a retired police officer from UP, was our next door neighbor in Agra, where I was also posted for more than 3 years. Luckily, we were again together in Meerut and Moradabad. By then, our families had become good friends. While in Agra, we had come to know that Mrs. Ajit Singh had been a heart patient since 1972-73. Her arteries were getting clogged progressively. By the year 2004, 3 arteries, 2 completely and 1 by 60 to 70% were blocked. It was difficult for her to even walk up to the gate of her house. She was under the treatment of a doctor, Major General Sahi, and had been advised a bypass surgery. She had been warned that if it was not done immediately, her condition would be fatal. A date of some 2 months later had also been fixed for the surgery. A few months earlier, Ajit Singh had himself suffered a serious attack of paralysis and was lucky enough to survive and recover from it. But now they were worried. It was by chance that we asked them to come to Guruji and seek his blessings. They were reluctant about it, but on our insistence, they agreed to come. Guruji asked them to bring a copper tumbler, which he blessed. Mrs. Ajit Singh began to drink water from the tumbler per Guruji's instructions. The day of her bypass surgery was nearing, and the doctors had asked her to come 2 days in advance to complete the investigations. The doctor had also warned her of the risks involved. When my wife came to know that Mrs. Ajit Singh was to be operated on, she suggested they seek Guruji's blessings first. Mrs. Ajit Singh told my wife that she would go to Guruji only if everything went well at the hospital. Her husband was so worried at this statement that he refused to accompany her to the hospital and sent his elder son. After they left for the hospital, Ajit prayed in front of Guruji's photograph. In the hospital, Mrs. Singh underwent the tests. As the reports came, the doctors who had been treating her for the past few years were astonished. The reports showed that her two arteries were clear and only 40% of the third remained to be cleared up. The doctors said that only a miracle could have done this. Now, she does not have any major health problems and lives a normal life. Her husband believes they have been deeply blessed by Guruji Maharaj. In fact, Ajit also had stopped playing golf due to his paralysis attack, can again be seen on the NOIDA golf course. Getting blessed instantly. It is not that one has to wait for Guruji's blessings. Guruji's blessings give instantaneous results. Once in the beginning of 2006, I developed neck pain due to cervical spondylitis. The pain radiated to the left arm, leaving it numb. I could not move freely without acute pain. I had this ailment off and on for 8 years. As the pain continued to the fourth day, my daughter's mother-in-law urged my wife to pray to Guruji. I berated myself. How could I have forgotten Guruji during these 3 days of pain? I stood before Guruji's photograph and prayed to him. After that, I just forgot about it and got busy with my work. After a day, when my wife asked me about my cervical pain, I was astonished to note that right from the time I had prayed to Guruji, I had forgotten about it. I had not felt any pain during the past 30 years. I thanked Guruji for blessing me and making me forget the pain immediately. Since that day, I have forgotten I had this ailment. Another instance of instant relief occurred around March 2006. I was with my family and friends in house having snacks. Food got stuck inside the windpipe and I had trouble breathing. My eyes started watering, the throat was irritating me and I was breathless. I took water, bread and even a banana to clear the throat, but to no avail. I came to my room. For 15 minutes there was no relief. Just then I came before Guruji's photo. I folded my hands and bowed to Guruji without thinking of or praying for anything. Barely had I done so that I gulped and my windpipe cleared. I was convinced of Guruji's powers. Guruji Maharaj is the greatest of all. My family survives a car accident. In May of 2006, I got a call that my family had met with a car accident. I left for the site of the accident, only about 5 kilometers away. I got a phone call from my wife that a vehicle had hit their car from the rear. All the doors were locked, the seats had fallen, and all of them were trapped inside. My wife said it was about 9:15 at night. My wife and 3 daughters were returning from the South Extension Market to Noida. The traffic lights in Jasola village near Sarita Vihar was showing red, and they were in the middle of a jam. Their car was in front when it was hit twice in the rear. Apparently, one truck loaded with goods had hit the car behind them, which in turn hit our car. My married daughter and my youngest daughter on the rear seat were hit on the heads and backs. The car rolled forward a few yards. My wife had a photo of Guruji Maharaj with her and immediately thought of Guruji. My wife shouted for help. Some boys broke open the door and my family was taken out of the car. I reached the spot and took them to a hospital where first aid was given. My eldest daughter's CT scan was taken. My wife was worried for her daughter and took out Guruji's photograph and prayed to him. Soon the doctor reported that everything was all right and there was nothing to worry about. She was given a medicine to contain the swelling. My wife was hugely relieved and thanked Guruji. The car behind us had taken the brunt of the collision. It was damaged and some passengers were seriously injured. The impact was such that even the front of the truck was damaged. My family was safe, again due to Guruji Maharaj's grace. I also thanked Guruji Maharaj for protecting my family from any major bodily harm in an accident of such magnitude. Guruji fulfills the prayers of those who pray with sincerity and honesty. My nephew gets admission. One of my nephews who lives in Ludhiana had come to Delhi for an MBA entrance test and interview in one of Delhi's institutes. He had come to Guruji with us to take his blessings. He prayed to Guruji for his success. Guruji Maharaj blessed him and told him, "Ja, ho jayega admission. Go, you will get admission." My nephew was hopeful after the tests. As the institute declared the results, his name was not there in the first, second, third, and final waiting lists. The boy had been waiting since Shivratri, and the results disheartened him. But Guruji Maharaj had blessed him. So, though the third and final list did not have his name, yet he was surprised to receive a letter of admission after 3 days. He was full of joy and thanked Guruji Maharaj for it. Guruji's words and blessings have in a short time influenced him very much. Guruji Maharaj, the Satguru. Guruji Maharaj is also a great purifier of our mind. He has incarnated as a godly saint because a great need was felt for him. Guruji reveals himself in his full glory, infinite powers, wisdom, and bliss. Guruji Maharaj is a Sadguru who gives a universal push to all human beings towards spiritual evolution. For him, caste, religion, sex, and nationality do not matter. People from far and wide start getting drawn to him as if by the pull of an invisible force. Guruji Maharaj is a perfect master and attracts or reaches out to his disciples when the appropriate time comes to lead them to their spiritual goal. His pull becomes so powerful that it becomes difficult for anyone to resist. Guruji Maharaj is a universal guru. He deals with each person at his level of consciousness. He tries to dissolve their ego through his superior power in order to evolve that person. He removes all limitations of the mind and body that are not conducive to the evolution of the soul. What methods in the gross, subtle, or mental levels Guruji Maharaj may use can never be predicted. Guruji's eyes are intoxicated with the love of God and his hand is like that of God. God himself speaks through his human throat. Guruji Maharaj heralds peace, truth, and brotherhood. He obliterates all distinctions of light, high, and low, caste, color, and creed, and showers a gentle rain of mercy upon the hearts of a depressed and woe-stricken populace. With the water of truth, brotherhood, and equality, he with his hands washes clean malice and ill will from the hearts of people drenched through and through in the poison of materialism. Guruji Maharaj is the direct manifestation of God and is the marvel of God's greatness. In the twinkling of an eye, he can rise to heaven and can come back. The sun and the moon, paradise and hell, the earth and the sky are his playgrounds. As has been correctly said, in short, thou art God in the form of an avatar. Shukrana Guruji.